Hey guys, Dable here. Today we got to look at the Tier 7 Japanese Battleship Kii. Takagi on the screen there, standard Japanese battleship build that I'm running on this one. We're going to show the ship build, then we're going to look at the Amagi's Citadel Protection Turtleback Armor. And I want to note the values here. The second one, the sloped 95 on the slopes, and then you can see the overall armor structure protecting the Citadel. Then as we switch over to the Kii here, note significantly reduced. We got 38 slopes, and then note that little green patch. We got a 22 millimeter Citadel deck. Ooh boy. So you're going to be tempted perhaps to play this thing as a close range brawler. And you can actually get away with close range brawling in the Amagi in certain situations. But it's actually fairly effective. But this one, due to that significantly reduced turtleback protection, not going to recommend that. Before we get too far into this, I do want to point out that we're still shooting for that 15,000 subscribers. We're getting pretty close, guys. Pretty excited about that. If we hit that, giveaways are happening. We got Tier 6s, Tier 5s, Tier 4 ships. Assuming this happens relatively soon, we're going to have Santa crates as well. If it bleeds over into the next update, or if it never happens, then I don't know what other prizes we'd have. But, you know, if it happens relatively soon, we're going to have a lot of Santa crates to pile on as well. So, a lot of juicy prizes. If you're not subscribed to the channel and you're interested in it at all, now would be a great time to do it. You know, again, once that 15K happens, we're going to plan something, some sort of stream or something, and give away a bunch of prizes. So, stay tuned for that. Kii. What's going on with the Kii? It's basically an Amagi with torpedoes, but as we saw earlier, the Citadel is completely less effective. Let's just put it that way. So you got these torpedoes, you're going to be inclined or tempted to play at close range brawler because of those torpedoes, but you don't have the armor to protect yourself, and you're going to get wrecked. So I try and play it basically like an Amagi, more long range, and then, you know, just rely on the big booming guns. Accuracy, I think on the PC version it was less accurate. I haven't noticed, you know, I've only played it about 10 or so games leading up to this early impressions video, but I haven't necessarily noticed them being any less accurate than the Amagi. That could be a difference from the PC, or it could be the same. We don't really know. We don't have that stat in our game, but accuracy-wise, it seems familiar to me. It's like playing the Amagi. Starting off here, note we're pointing our ship towards B. Early armor angling, I keep meaning to talk about this, but I haven't for a little while. If we point basically towards the guys that spawn north of B, then we present a 45-degree angle to these guys, which will allow our guns to be on target. We can shoot a full salvo, and we're perfectly angled towards the guys at B, and we're in that chance to bounce, roughly 45-degree angle towards these guys. So we're quote-unquote perfectly protected against the guys at B, at least as well as we possibly can, and we're partially protected against these guys. So this is the ultimate way to minimize damage. If we point to the northeast, then we got the guys at B have perfect access to our broadside. If they're paying attention, they can go ahead and slam us around. We got Vlad, we got Leon shooting HE salvo after HE salvo. Our destroyer was able to get on the cap. The Wichita didn't get close enough to really present much of a threat there. Should be shooting here, a little too slow in the uptake, and he gets away. I'm going to go ahead and finish off the Sharnars. Let's go over the differences in the stats very quickly. HP, we got 68,200 on this, 62,300 on the Amagi. That's really, aside from the presence of the torps, the main draw of the Kii. You got better torpedo belt, 43% versus 25 on the Amagi. Slightly better range, 0.1 kilometers. Better reload by 0.9 seconds. Same turret diverse. We got about 550 more damage per max damage per AP shell on this, on the Kii over the Amagi. Maneuverability, the edge is slight, but it all goes to the Amagi. We got 0.4 knots in the water faster, 10 meters better turn radius, and looks like 1.3 seconds better on the rudder shift. Concealment, this one wins by 0.6. So stats wise, the repair party on the Kii is about 50 HP per second better in terms of how much it's healing as well. So those are really the main differences. On paper, the only thing that is gonna stand out with you as a major difference is the torpedoes. But again, you're going to have to use those situationally. You don't want to be pushing into ships that can wreck you just to get the torps off, because by the time you're in position to use them, they'll sink you. So I play it more or less as an Amagi with torps kind of as a close range protection if we get in sticky situations. Watching this back, I should drop anchor right here. I think at the time I was looking at the situation on A, seeing, all right, they cleared out the side, the red team did. They're going to capture that cap and then push into B. Domination mode, of course, the main goal is to capture one flank, in this case C, and the center, B. We've already done that. Then you got to defend the center from the side that you don't control, in this case A. But you can see the red team's kind of overloading the C cap, even though we control it in terms of which team's accruing points from it. They're kind of threatening it pretty heavily. So I should have actually just pulled forward to use that island right to my right as cover, preventing all 4 of those ships from shooting us at the same time. Then we can take the fight 1v1 at a time and then whittle them down. But anyway, we go around the ship. We're going to still focus on these guys. We could go towards A down there, try and maybe reset that cap or slow them down from getting into B, but it's too early to do that. You know, if we leave this red squad alone on C, they could potentially out-muscle our team here, flip the cap, and then we're going to be pincered in the middle by getting attacked from A and C at the same time. So we want to stay over here. We want to clear this out as quickly as possible, or at least heavily reduce their effective, strength over here, so that even if we leave the team, as we're going to do in a few minutes, we leave them in a situation where they are going to have a hard time kind of screwing it up, So, taking some shots on Vlad here. Keep an eye on the map here. We got a battleship play developing. You got a battleship to my southeast who's moving northeast. I'm moving northwest. And then we also got that Leon all the way to the northeast here. So their Wichita, he's pushing aggressively into our sea cap. For obvious reasons, we got an Akatsuki who tried to torp him point blank range, misses, as people who try and torp point blank range often do, or actually everyone who launches torps often misses. My torpedo hit accuracy is like 9% or so, so maybe yours is 10. You're like a torpedo sniper, but you're going to miss a lot of torpedoes, so getting close to ships like that, not that advisable. Especially radar cruisers. But getting back to the battleship positioning, again, look on the map here. As we move to the northwest, as the guy to my southeast moves to the northeast, now this Wichita is kind of pushed into the middle of us. He's actually going to be in the middle of all 3 of these battleships. And how do you angle that? Right now he's pointing to the south, trying to protect himself from whatever that guy is. We're going to put some torps down here just in case he turns into this gap trying to rush us. He probably doesn't know there's torps on this ship yet. This is, early into this thing's launch. But now he's like, all right, well, he tried to angle towards me, takes a blast. Maybe he has his sonar going, he saw the torps or something. But he angles towards me regardless, then gets slapped around by the guy to the southeast. Now he points his nose back down there. We got the guns loaded. We're waiting for this. Maybe he's just trying to get his back guns on us, whatever. We give him a big slap there, and then I think the Leon's going to pile in and finish him off from the east there. So anytime you're putting your ship in between multiple ships of the enemy team like that, where they're kind of surrounding you, you see it most often on destroyers because they think they're undetectable, and then something spots them, and then everyone on the enemy team blows them up simultaneously. Same thing with the cruisers. You don't want to be pushing into like U-shaped patterns or circle patterns, or anytime you got red ships on multiple sides, and especially if they're all close to you and they're going to be looking at you like that, it's impossible to protect yourself at that point in time. So Wichita is actually a fairly durable ship. Very hard to access citadel. Pretty good armor. You can angle and minimize the damage you're taking pretty well in that ship, but not like that. Not when you're forced to present broadside to multiple battleships that are point-blank range at the same time. So anyway, now our options here are to get bogged down by this Leon, which might not be a bad play because we do want to clear off this flank, of course. We don't necessarily want to leave anyone over here, but we got 2 friendlies over there, and even if he manages to kill them off and get the cap, that's a 5 to 10 minute proposition. That's not something that he can do very quickly. Meanwhile, the plays that are going to decide the game are always, you got to figure out where the action is here. We got destroyer. Our destroyer is rushing into Magi. Horrible, risky play, let's put it that way. Luckily, he's going to get away with this. But destroyers, valuable pieces throughout the match, but at the end of the game, extremely valuable. And if he throws his destroyer away, and we're going to see another destroyer throw themselves away to kill a battleship later, bad, bad, bad. That's not going to ever win you the game. That's going to lose you the game. Because right now, if that Yudachi goes down, they got a destroyer who can run willy-nilly, torping all 3 battleships. Yes, we get that. And yes, he can get the caps. But the cruiser can get behind an island, remain undetected for the rest of the game, and bomb on us until we're all dead. You know, if that Yudachi goes down right there, probably lose this game. Even though you're looking at the score saying, what? You got the cap advantage, you got all these points that the enemy doesn't have. No, the game isn't over until the important pieces that can decide the game are removed. Speaking of the cruiser, Indianapolis. Now, I know some good players love the Indianapolis, and that's fine. It does have great guns. I love shooting the Indianapolis. Why is that, you say? Well, he gone! Results typical. You can blow that thing up from any angle at any time with battleships. Very hard to defend yourself if you're spotting that thing. So our Yudachi was spotting him, preventing him from using that cover, and we blew him up. So that's how important that Yudachi is. Another important factor here, I'm going to notice a little bit too late. I'm going to fire this first salvo here, but I should be thinking about this. It's very easy to think about ships creating crossfires like we were just talking about up in the northwest there. The battleships creating angles for each other. But look at those torps coming in. I should have actually held on to the shot. Now, either those torps hit this guy and blow him up, which is great, or if he turns toward the torps and I got these guns loaded, now we got access to that broadside. Torpedoes can create crossfires just as effectively as, ships moving around, moving their positions. So luckily I slam on the brakes. I recognize what's going on. I get the guns loaded. Go for the kill shot here. We're not going to quite get it. He's going to have a modicum of health left. But speaking of destroyers throwing themselves away, yes, it's going to be very, very hard for that team to win at this point in time. And yeah, they maybe need to go for like some sort of Hail Mary play, which is one of the instances where suicide torping is like considered a good play. I got to make something happen. Okay, maybe rushing this guy and hoping I can't counter this is maybe the best play they got at this point in the game, unfortunately. But good players, when you rush them like this, we dodged the first salvo. Yeah, he's got the next salvo lined up. We Higoned him. Yeah, he's going to Higon us right back. That's fine, but that's 2 Higons on our ship and only 1 for that guy. So suicide rushes, when do you do it? When you got a lot of health and you got an isolated battleship who doesn't have any support from his team, you're not going to get focused. Okay, maybe I can hit him. Hail Mary plays like that late in the game, we got to get something done. Okay, maybe that was justified. Or we got such a massive lead that, if the destroyer player, die, it's not the end of the world. Even these guys in my team can't possibly lose this game, right, guys? Those are kind of the situations you want to be looking for. Suicide rush. If it's the only play you know as a destroyer player, oh my god, please be on the red team. Please don't be on the blue team. Anyway, that's a look at the Kii for you guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. Lots of World of Warships coming all the time. Questions, comments, leave them below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And see y'all later. Peace.